What's good, everybody? Salty here. The Karen force is strong in this one today. I've got some entitled people for you. Here we go. Found my missing cat in my neighbor's place. Here in Australia, there's a wildlife law that any house cat can be outside from sunrise to sunset. My entitled neighbors knew that as I stated that once or twice after they had confronted me of my cat being outside. He was lying on the brick ledge that separates our backyards. And being a menace to the wildlife. No, he's terrified of birds. This happened a couple weeks ago, which still makes my blood boil just thinking about it. There was a huge thunderstorm here, and due to the loud noises of the thunder, my cat took off to find shelter. After the storm had settled, both my partner and myself spent the next 3 to 4 hours looking for him in places where cats would usually hide to escape the rain. When morning came, the entitled neighbor's grandson, an asshat of a person, was out in the front tending to his car. When I asked him if he had seen my cat, and he replied, "Maybe you went looking for food because you're not feeding him enough." I stated that I do in fact feed my cat to the vet nurse directions due to him being allergic to a certain cat food brand. He replied with a shrug and, "Maybe someone put him out of his misery like your other cat." Knowing that my other cat had passed away from being poisoned, he just laughed and went inside. I asked entitled neighbors if they seen my cat and they denied it. I even mentioned what their grandson had said and they waved it off as if to say, "Boys will be boys. He loves your cat. He won't hurt him." 14 days passed. I used up every possible way to locate my cat. Posted him kissing on Gumtree, several Facebook groups, and even asked the local vet and animal shelters if someone handed over a cat fitting his description. Giving up hope of him ever returning, I visited entitled neighbors to hand over some fresh pet-friendly mints to give to their cats and dog, when I noticed that in their lounge room window was my cat. They had him for nearly 3 weeks, hiding him from sight whenever we were outside calling his name or going door to door. They even paid their great-grandkids in candy not to tell us they had him. I found that out from their non-entitled granddaughter. Karen, only name I could think of to put, stated that they didn't appreciate that my cat was outside all day, so they took him to teach me a lesson. Naturally, I took him back, after a few choice words to both of them and their asshat of a grandson, who decided to try and take my cat back. Twice. He hasn't tried after we threatened to call the police. They had him for nearly 3 weeks. I don't think they were trying to teach any lessons here. I think they just wanted to steal the cat. I need that elevator now. So I'm an elevator technician. When they break, I'm the one who fixes them. When parts wear out, I replace them. You get it. The other day, I was on a job replacing a worn out emergency light. Back in the day, it was a habit to use the battery of the emergency light to power the elevator's siren system. Modern emergency lights have different voltages being LED, so I can't use the old way of connecting everything. So I have to wire everything up from scratch, including new battery and siren. No big deal, but it takes a little longer to complete the task. Note that this is a 3-stop elevator. Ground floor, first and second. I start with hanging up all my out of order signs and start working on the ground floor. 5 minutes in, just disassembled the old piece. The story begins. In comes the entitled woman. Mid-40s, can walk perfectly fine, carrying one barely filled grocery bag. Me, yours truly. EW, entitled woman. D, her lovely daughter, around 15 years old. "Excuse me, is the elevator broken again?" "Not exactly, ma'am. I'm changing this." Showing her the new emergency light, because the old one wasn't working anymore. This will probably take about an hour to complete. At this point, her daughter walks in. "How am I supposed to get my groceries upstairs?" Me, getting annoyed, I look at her bag and give her the "Are you kidding me" look. Daughter, "Mom, seriously, take the stairs. It's 2 floors. Clearly annoyed. "No, I pay for this elevator and I need it now." Daughter sighs. "I'm going up," and takes the stairs. "How long is this going to take?" "Like I said, ma'am, about an hour." The woman then sits her ass down on a bench in the hallway waiting for me to finish. Really? Oh well. I do my thing in the cabin, not hurrying at all. Mount the new E-light to the ceiling and pack my things to go 1 floor up to start the wiring on the top of the cabin. "Are you done yet?" "No, ma'am. I still have to wire things up on top of the elevator." "No, I can see you're done. You're packing your things." "Yes, I have to take my bag 1 floor up so I can start on the wiring." "Can I use it now?" "No, ma'am, you can't. There's exposed wiring up there. If you use it now, you can cause a short and you will get stuck. It's really not safe." "Fine." And she sits back down on the bench, seriously pissed off. I take my bag and make my way upstairs. As soon as I stand in front of the first door, I hear the door on the ground floor close, and sure enough, entitled woman went into the elevator and tried to take it upstairs. Hell no, I wasn't having that. I take my emergency key, and as soon as the elevator started moving, I open the lock, cutting the safety chain, and the elevator comes to a sudden stop. This scared the shit out of her and she screams. I open the door and in my most fake surprised voice, I yell, "Oh no, what have you done?" while calmly pressing the emergency stop on top of the elevator. Yep, this thing isn't going anywhere soon. Me. This is exactly why I said the elevator is unsafe to use now. I'll do my best to get it working again ASAP, but you made a mess up here, so I don't know how long it's going to take. There was no mess, but I couldn't resist teaching her a little lesson. Entitled woman swears, yells, makes a scene. Me. I'll be right back. I have to go to the engine room to see if I can get it working again. I close the door and make my way up. On the second floor, the daughter came out of the apartment because of the yelling of her mother. I quickly explained what happened. Daughter, raising her voice, "Oh no, please get her out of there." But then she comes closer and whispers to me, "Don't hurry, make her suffer." That's my kind of girl. Music to my ears. I smile, give her a thumbs up, and make my way up to the engine room. I call my supervisor to explain the situation in case she files a complaint. In the engine room, I start playing around with the fuses, putting her in the dark because yeah, I haven't connected the E-light yet. I play with her for about a half an hour before I turn off the emergency stop I activated. The elevator synchronizes to the lowest floor and I wait for the doors to open. Me, "Please, don't ever do that again." Entitled woman, white as a sheet, shaking, No, I won't." And she takes the stairs and goes inside. I never heard from her again. I calmly finish my job and leave the building with a smile on my face. Mission accomplished. Oh yeah, that little dose of pro-revenge at the end just makes this story so good. I love how even the daughter wanted her to suffer. That's just perfect. Have you ever seen a customer explode before? It's awesome. When I worked at a insert biggest retail chain in America here, we had an odd but easily understandable way to display and sell our TVs. If the TV has one price tag on it, that means that was the price for the TV in the box and the display was not for sale. If the TV had two, one would be clearly marked display price, as in that exact TV on the wall, because it's about to be replaced. And the other price tag was for a new in-box TV. The display price often reached insane discounts. The longer it sat there, the lower our system automatically lowered the price. One time, we sold a $2,000 TV, brand new in-box for $200 because it was the display. I wanted that TV, and I was sad the other coworker got to it first. But my luck turned around. The almost exact same model minus a curved screen was up for grabs. Also, $2,000 new. They were selling it for $500. A really nice smart TV, 4K smart hub, the f***ing works. A customer saw online we were selling a similar looking TV, different model number and resolution, 1080p, for $200. The website said display only price. He came in and demanded the $500 display for $200. Q, it's the same size. What's the f***ing difference? 1 billion times. He began threatening lawsuits for misadvertisement. Threatened to call the cops. What could they do? Enough to where the store manager was about to cave and take a hit personally. Here's where I got sneaky. I got tired of waiting for the displays that I wanted to come down. As I have been waiting for a year and saving up for a new TV to replace my 10-year-old 32-inch Sanyo. That TV is still used. It's now in my bedroom as a monitor for me to play games while I sit on my bed. The customer was outside ranting and raving at someone on the phone. So during my 15-minute break, I walked up to the store manager. "I will buy that TV right now for $500. Manager, "You sure? That customer's going to explode if he sees you with it." Me, "That's fine. I'll wheel it out to my car and he can watch me load it into the back." Manager, "Alright." Got tired of him anyway. He was being an ass to me and multiple associates. He deserves this. If corporate calls, I'll show camera footage. That would be enough for us to be in the clear. Corporate won't complain that I saved $300 from being burned. I literally walked right by that customer with that TV. I was happy that I got the damn TV, but the icing on the cake, he turned tomato red. Not kidding, red. "What the f*** are you doing?" "I saw this TV for sale and I bought it. Why?" "I was about to buy that." "Oh, I thought you didn't want it anymore after you left the store. I didn't realize you left to call someone." I totally did, by the way. "You getting smart with me? I'll kick your ass." Here's where I almost got reprimanded and coached. I couldn't resist. The troll in me couldn't be stopped. Sir, tomatoes belong in the vegetables section. What the did you just say? I booked it to my car, sprinting and holding a 55-inch TV over my head and slapped the back of my car door shut and ran back inside. They got him out of the store by saying, "You left the store. We don't hold items. It's our policy." And to boot, corporate backed us up. I dodged the reprimand because the customer couldn't prove I made that comment at him. I got a new TV, made a customer explode, and made my managers nearly die from laughing so hard. It was a good day. Now, riddle me this. Does this guy sound like Karen's husband? If Karen does have a husband, this guy definitely fits that role. I'm a because I can't walk like normal people. I'm a young-ish, 27-year-old woman in a wheelchair. This can totally confuse kids and some adults, but you are too pretty and young. Now, if I'm out with my niece at the park or anywhere, kids run feral. I expect some attention. I'm not busy, and it's pretty cute how they surround me like those little mini velociraptor dinosaurs from Jurassic Park. However, it is not acceptable in most public places for strangers to approach me and start asking me about my private medical history, and I expect adults to know better. It happens every time I go out, and I'm done with it. So here's one of my more recent stories. Keep in mind, I'm petite and look like a teen with a voice to match. I also dress super cutesy. I am the least threatening person ever. I'm working at a convention in a booth. I work with my mom, but she had gone to get us coffee. I'm working on some paperwork when a kid around 8 to 11 comes up to me and pokes me in the leg. I look up to see entitled child, with his mom standing a little ways behind looking at him, not at me, lovingly and like he's about to perform a trick. Before I could say anything, he asked loudly, "Why are you in that wheelchair?" I look at the mom, who again doesn't say anything or even look at me. Now, I'm annoyed. I'm just trying to work, and I don't want to enable this rude behavior. So I lean forward, smile, and sweetly say, "That's none of your business, and it's a very rude question to ask people." The kid looked a little shocked, but he didn't say anything else. The mom, however, looked at me coldly and said, "That was very rude. He's just a little boy." Yeah, he's not that little. I said calmly, "What's rude is asking strangers about their private medical condition." Mom, obviously mad, now says, "This was his opportunity to learn about handicapped people. Now he'll be too scared to ask because you've traumatized him." At this point, I can see my mom approaching, but I keep my attention on this lady. I said assertively without raising my voice, "It's not my job to educate your child just because I'm disabled. Maybe you should have taught your kid that bugging disabled people is rude, so I wouldn't have to." At this point, lady, who is unaware my mom is standing right behind her, screams, "If you don't like people asking, you shouldn't be in public. It's not our fault you're a bitter little because you can't walk like normal people." Now, my mom is a bear mom. She's protective and has a temper. She has been with me, caring for me throughout my illness. My mom loudly says, shocking the lady, "She's in public because she's a human being, you fat cow. Can I ask you why you're fat since you are in public?" After this, my mom went on a bit, mostly saying things that I'm not comfortable repeating. My mom's an amazing person, but I could see her ending up on a YouTube crazy lady freakout video. Basically, it was, "Get away from my kid before I hurt you." The lady who thought yelling at me was an easy fight was clearly no match for my mom. Lady basically ran off with her tail between her legs while saying about my mom, "Crazy." I seriously need to start filming my wheelchair excursions. Me at work in my chair. Aw, those earmuffs are badass. The Karen force is strong with this one. "You've traumatized my son because you told him it's rude to ask people about their disability." Okay, lady. Alright, everybody, that's gonna do it for today's episode of Entitled People. Smash that like button and let me know in the comments what you all think. We'll see you all in the next one. Peace.